I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
I don't remember giving permission for a party, Joe.
A party?
You ever get high, Joe?
Don't let me do anything stupid.
Please stop!
There's a time for playing it safe and a time for risky business. Starring Tom Cruise, rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Check your newspaper for local listings.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. And this is another request, this time for Andrew Patterson, who wanted my thoughts on Risky Business from 1983. And requests can be sent either directly to my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Risky Business, of course, is the film that brought Tom Hanks into the center stage of movie stardom. You had been in films before, smaller parts, but this is the film that really brought him the attention that led to films like Rain Man and Top Gun. I mean, 3 years after this, he'd be in Top Gun. And you just see why, because he had a certain it factor. His look, his presence, the delivery of the dialogue. Sometimes you just gotta say, what the fuck? That you see this is a star in the making. And it's about a guy who, his buddies played by Bronson Pinchot and Curtis Armstrong. So Serge from Beverly Hills Cop and Booger from Revenge of the Nerds are Tom Cruise's buddies in this. Which, to be perfectly honest, this is the first time I've seen this film all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces like of course, the scene where he's dancing in his underwear to the old time rockin' road. And pretty much I saw all the parodies before I saw the movie that it parodied. That they got the parody from. I mean, honestly, my first time seeing that parody was Elf, the TV show Elf, where Elf, in one of the first episodes, did the same thing. Not his underwear, because we didn't see that part, but wearing a shirt and singing pretty much the same song. I think it was the same song. And as a kid, I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's... Okay, that's pretty cool. It was years later that I found out, oh, he's parodying Risky Business. Which even that idea is strange, because think about that. A sitcom about an alien is parodying a movie where the plot leads to the kids having a fucking brothel at the house and kids getting laid on fucking trains, and a sitcom like Elf is mentioning that. The 80s were a great time. Great time. Probably a lot of cocaine. Maybe people need cocaine again. Maybe if people had cocaine, it'd be maybe it would be a better place with cocaine. It was in the 80s. But his parents go out on a trip. He's got the place to himself. That's why he goes around in his underwear. You know, the freedom. And then Curtis Armstrong hooks him up with a hooker, even though he doesn't want to. When she arrives, she's a he. He still has to pay. But then gives him a number for another person to call, and that's Rebecca De Mornay. And Rebecca De Mornay is hot to trot, hot as hell, hot as fucking all heaven in this movie. I'm like, sit on my face, let me make some room. Hot, beautiful. Which is like, are you ready for me? I'm like, yes, but I'm not in the movie, so that sucks. And then things go off kilter from there. Dealing with pimp Joe Pantoliano. His dad's Porsche getting fucked up into the water. How am I gonna pay for it? Let's have a brothel at your house. But then he doesn't even get... That's one bit I didn't really care for. Spoiler alert. This whole bit where, you know, things seem to work out and then all of his furniture is stolen. And he has to buy the furniture back from Joe Pantoliano's character. I didn't really understand the whole reason for this sequence or the whole point of this sequence. Unless just to keep the running time a bit longer. Because nothing really comes of Joe Pantoliano character and the fact that the furniture's stolen. He goes up, he buys the furniture back, he puts the furniture back into place. Other than the one crystal being scratched, but that could have been done at the brothel. I guess what I'm saying at is, you easily could have gone from the brothel to the parents coming back. Oh my god, the crystal got scratched because... And have the place be ransacked and have the place be up shit creek because of this brothel, because of this party. Like, he comes down and he sees the whole place is a mess and oh my god, I gotta clean up before the parents get home. That would be the same thing as, oh, I gotta put the furniture back. It just... It didn't really bring anything... I guess other than to just close the story point as Joe Pantoliano was pissed at him. So now this is why Joey Pants isn't pissed at him anymore. I mean, if that's the case, you could have just said he has a guy who beats up Tom Cruise, gives him part or all the money, and then Joey Pants like, thank you, man. Now we're even. I don't know, just the whole thing with stealing the furniture, it just didn't do anything for me. I don't know how to put it. It's like, okay, maybe it's meant to be funny. I didn't think it was funny. To me, it was just a waste of time. And kind of slowed the movie down. It's like, I already know he's got to buy it all back. I already know he's not going to get any money, any extra revenue. I already know... I don't know, but it just didn't do anything for me. But Tom Cruise, Rebecca De Mornay, they worked well together. It was cool to see people like Bronson Pinchot and Curtis Armstrong in the film. The soundtrack worked, especially the score. I mean, you got Tangerine Dream doing the score. And Tangerine Dream, these are guys that was always bring a smile to one's face when you see that they were on the call sheet, so to speak, in the credits. Like, oh, they're doing the score, cool. One of my favorites of theirs would be the score to Miracle Mile. But I mean, you know, Michael Mann films they worked on, I believe 3 O'Clock High, just always brought another level to the atmosphere, the feel of the movie. Just their sound really was a great, what's the way I want to put it, it's a great asset to the film. I know the director had a problem with the ending because it made it seem as if they might be a couple. and the director didn't like that. I saw his original ending. I was fine with the way it ended. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. For a bit, I was confused. Because spoilers, the last line is Tom Cruise narrating about how he makes $8,000 a night. The time of your life, huh, kid? So for a minute, I'm like, did he become a hooker himself? Did he become a male prostitute? Did he become a pimp? Is that why he makes $8,000 a night? But it's like, oh, that's not the way it's going. At least I think. But I was a bit confused for a minute when I heard that line. I'm like, he makes $8,000 a night. Did this become a new living? Did he make a brothels all the time? Did he become a pimp? This is the story of Tom Cruise becoming a pimp? This is the origin story? Risky business, now he's Pimp Cruise. Sounds like a Pimp Cruise. That sounds like the brother of the character in like, remember Cruise and Rad? He had a long lost brother as Pimp Cruise. Anyway, I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed it. I love the mood that's set with the Tangerine Dream score. Rebecca De Mornay was sexy. When they got it on the train, she was even sexier. Beautiful, nice supporting cast. Bronson Pinchot, Joe Pantoliano, Curtis Armstrong, Tom Cruise. You could tell he was going to be a star after this. He had that energy and zest and it factor. It didn't go too overboard with the crazy shenanigans. It wasn't a film where all of a sudden the fucking house blew up or anything of that sort. Although some films, like, if it was Better Off Dead, they would make that kind of stuff work. But that's not the kind of movie he's trying to be. I guess you could say, like, what the message of the film was. I guess sort of a guy entering adulthood. Best way to put it. Or a guy just having a risky, crazy time and wondering what's going to happen next in the future. Because he gets into the school he wanted to. I didn't for a minute. I thought, oh, he's going to quit and he's going to become a pimp. Maybe that's what happened. You never know. Maybe that is what happened. Risky Business 2, Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, overall I did like the film. It was pretty damn decent. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.